You ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. Welcome to the Coach Brew Show.
All right.
Coach Brew, let's start early. Let's introduce our Farm Bureau Coach of the Week and our Players of the Week.
Little something different this week. We usually have one player, but after the night we had the other night, defensively and on special teams, we're going to have two representatives from our football team. Donovan Bethley had 3 tackles and also 2 block punts. Now, a block punt is hard enough to do anyway. To get 2 of them in one night, pretty special. Coach Ken Hilton and I were talking about it. He said, "Brew, I've been doing this a long time. I don't think I've ever had a kid have 2 in one night." I said, "I don't think I have either." So, unbelievable feat. So, he's got to be one of the players of the week, no doubt. So, congratulations, man. That's awesome. And our second player of the week, Michael Sepps, an inside linebacker. Michael had 15 tackles on the night, 2 TFLs, and a pass breakup or a dropped interception. Either way you want to look at it, you can call either one of those 2 stats. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It goes to PBU, baby. I like it. And both of those guys happen to be coached by Coach Ken Hilton, who's our inside linebackers coach. And so Coach will be our Farm Bureau Coach of the Week this week. So really excited to have those 3 individuals represent our program tonight. You'll get to learn a little bit about the 3 of them when they come up here and take the mic. 3 quality individuals right there who do a tremendous job. So I'm excited about that.
All right, real quick, we have a young lady. Raise your hand. Coach Crowder's daughter is taking questions. If we get enough questions, we're going to do a drawing, and she gets a bonus.
That's
Right, Dad?
Big bonus. Big bonus.
Big bonus. So please get your questions in to Miss Crowder. All right, Coach Brew, homecoming at the half. Was it 0-0 at the half?
It was 0-0 at the half. That is correct.
What a great game. Talk about that game.
You know, I actually kind of got the giggles about halfway through the game because I said, Warren Brady is sitting up in that press box, just loving this defensive battle we got going on out here. One of those kinds of games that you got to figure out a way to win them. When I did the halftime interview with old Jack Label on the sideline, I believe Mr. Jack was expecting me to lose my mind.
I was.
Yeah, I know. But, it was kind of one of those nights where the defense just kept giving the offense multiple chances to do something, and I figured if we could keep playing that way on defense, that at some point the offense was going to take over. And Opelousas played with a bunch of guys on both sides of the ball and a bunch of two-way guys. And so, finally I felt like physically we were able to take the game over, late in the third, and then, of course, the entire fourth quarter. So, and I felt like that was going to take place at any moment anyway, and so that's why, halftime, everything was relatively smooth and quiet and calm, and I wasn't questioning the effort that our guys played with. I thought we played hard in the first half. We didn't play very smart at times on offense, but the defense was just so overwhelming that they just continued to present those opportunities and chances. So, hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to win games like that, and certainly very, very proud of our team for getting a big homecoming win against a very quality opponent.
Well, you weren't exaggerating last week. Offensively, they were incredibly talented. That was a talented Opelousas offense.
Yeah,
they scored 40-something points the week before.
Yep. Yeah, against a top 5 Ash team in 5A, right? They won't lose again. That's my prediction. I don't think they'll lose again. They start their district this week. No, they do not. I'm sorry. They go up north to play Natchitoches Central, another 5A team. So they're all 5 of their pre-district games were against 5A opponents. We need them to win. We need them to rack up some power points for us. But a quality football team with lots of talent on offense and some guys that can absolutely fly on defense as well.
That was the thing on defense. That defensive line, one of the best defensive lines we'll probably see this year.
Yeah.
And behind them, you said it, they could fly.
Ooh, man, they were fun to watch. I enjoyed, you're a fan sometimes when you watch that kind of athletic ability running around out there, but certainly very proud of our boys and the way that we were able to pull that one out.
All right, so we've talked about the good. There was a little bad.
Right.
It seems like the 17-yard line right hash absolutely hates us. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Every time you look up, it felt like we were on that right hash, and the old kickoff team out there. Actually, spit it out, Brew. The field goal team heading out there on the old right hash. I'm like, good Lord, man. But old Costa finally broke the seal and got it in there, and then it was on from that point forward. Special teams wise, I thought that Boston Bentley had some good kickoffs, good deep high kickoffs.
Bombs.
I thought that the obviously punt return, you got 2 punt blocks there, and then I think we averaged 50-something, 60-something yards a punt. He crushed one.
They were bombs.
Yeah. So, you're going to have nights like that. And, some things that we got to clean up there, and we will. Defensively, we've talked about them already. They're outstanding all night. Offensively, I felt like in the first half, I just felt like we were in a rush all the time. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you don't get put in the position of having to drive 80 yards every drive, you feel like you should be doing more with the ball because you're getting such great field position. And sometimes you just put some undue pressure on yourself, and that's what I thought happened. Our first drive, we run counter a couple times up the gut for 8 or 9 yards, and then we kind of got away from that a little bit, and that's not what our identity was or is. And I think that as the game wore on, we got back to a little bit more of what we are. We're going to take some shots after we have established that run game a little bit. And that's what took place. And the one thing the offense, what kind of gets overlooked a little bit is even though you were not putting points on the board, we were constantly keeping that ball in their territory, and we weren't just turning it over. It wasn't like we're throwing a bunch of picks or putting the ball on the ground or whatever. It was just kind of one of those nights where we had to find some rhythm, and finally we did, and we're able to pull away.
All right, before we leave this game, fine quarterback for Opelousas went down. Do we know if he's okay, or have you heard from their coach?
I haven't heard anything. I was told that night that he was having some back spasms, and really, he took some good hits throughout the course of the night. I don't think the last one surprised me when he went down. I don't think we hit him real hard. It was more just a push in the back, and he went down. So I don't know. Maybe he tweaked it or something happened, but no, I haven't heard anything.
All right, we had the open date. We got our rhythm back. Did we come out of the game healthy? Everybody in good shape?
We did. Came out of the game healthy and ready to go. I was laughing. We talked to our guys all week about the physicality of their running back. It was a big back, right, and lots of speed. And the first play from scrimmage, I don't know if you remember it or not, but the first play from scrimmage, Conrad comes up from the safety spot to make a tackle, and he kind of just throws his arm and his shoulder out there instead of a real true form tackle. And it hurt. I mean, you could tell it hurt him, and he kind of got up and started moving his arm around a little bit, and I'm yelling at him, hey, man, you better square him up. You better not come from the side like that.
big
Just put your
boy.
arm out there because it's not going to be, it's not going to feel great, you know. But he did a great job the rest of the night, and I thought our entire defense really played. We played total defense that night from a standpoint of we had a guy lock on to him, and here comes 5 more, you know, and did a great job of gang tackling, and you got to do that against a guy like that. You got to slow him down early where he doesn't get going, and then you got to bring a bunch of hats to the ball, and that's exactly what we did, and we were able to contain him. He's a great back. We misaligned one time, and he housed it, and that's what great backs do. But the rest of the night, he had 66 yards on 34 carries. So you can't ask for more than that from our defense.
All right, Coach Brew, apparently I offended Thomas Scott at the Brew Show last week because I said if we lose, we're not going to have the homecoming dance.
Right.
Thomas has a different perspective. He has a daughter. He bought her a dress. He said, we're going to have a dance. So
Right.
all is good with homecoming.
Yeah. Well, Thomas offends people every week with some things he says on there. So
You said it, not me.
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
All right, before we take our first break, Coach Brew, other sports in Zachary this week and things that are going on, JV, freshmen,
Yeah.
middle school.
So right now, the 8th grade football team is playing CSAL in our home stadium, as we speak. Our freshmen are playing as we speak at Scotlandville. Tomorrow night, our JV team hosts Scotlandville's JV team at 6 o'clock in the Corral. So we're looking forward to some great football this week. I know our swim team is swimming this weekend. I know our cross country team is running this weekend. I know our volleyball team played last night. See if we got any volleyball coaches in there. Do we play, Miss Nyan? Do we play volleyball again this week?
I think they have 2 more games.
2 more
But I
away
think
games
they're on the
this
road
week.
now.
Yeah. So we're in full spring and the old fall right now. I mean, we're blowing and going. So basketball's right around the corner. Wrestling's right around the corner. So we got some great things going on and some great things coming up here very soon.
All right, we're going to take our first break. Looking for questions, or we will or won't have a drawing. So get your questions in. Let's see. I think we'll do a drawing. Oh, we got some more? Well, come on.
We'll draw at the end of this segment. How about that?
All right, we'll do it at the end of this segment. So, Coach Brew, others in the district played this week. Kind of give us a rundown of what happened in 4-5A this week.
Yeah, so this week, or last Friday night, I should say, Scotlandville traveled up to West Monroe. They took one on the chin pretty bad. That travel must have been really difficult on them, and West Monroe apparently had a great night that night, beat them. Liberty had a big win this week. Who they are certainly much improved over what they were a year ago, and they're winning. They're winning some games. The score that surprised me big time. A couple of weeks ago, they played Lutcher, and I think the final score was like 21-7. I think they don't punt ever. Our own 8-yard line.
I kind of like it.
Opening drive against Lutcher. 4th and 6. First down. I mean, like, it's and that's different, and that is a change in philosophy. Most of the time you concentrate so much on getting off the field on 3rd down, right? Well, no, you gotta. He's banking on the fact that he can get 2.5 yards per play and get a first down every drive, right? And they're doing a really good job of that. Woodlawn had a big win this week. Who did they beat, Ken? Who did Woodlawn beat this week? You remember? I don't remember who it was, but they had another good win. Central beat Lafayette Christian, who's, that team's been in the Dome the last 7 years. Central's 5-0 right now, playing some really good ball. And then Catholic had an off week. So, the district is, we're finished counting wins now in the district, because now it's what, right? I mean, it's everybody's got a district game every week. So PowerPoint-wise, we're done as far as our district teams are concerned. Moving forward, then it comes to your pre-district opponents and what they've done and what they're going to do, and the wins that they've got. So, going to be interesting. We have Scotlandville this week. I know Catholic has Liberty this week, so that would leave Woodlawn and Central.
Oh wow!
So that's here we are. We're the pre-district is done, and here we are in our district slate. And everybody's got dreams of winning a district championship, and this is the first week on the schedule, so we're excited about it.
All right, so we open district on the road, going down to Scotlandville.
Yeah.
So tell me what to expect from the Hornets.
Yeah. So the Hornets, I watched a little bit of film on them from a year ago, our game against them. And I've watched their film from this year. They're certainly a better football team now than they were a year ago, without question. And I think that Coach Ryan Cook, who's now been there for a few years, starting to kind of get his system into place. He was a defensive coordinator at Madison Prep before he went over there. Starting to get his system into place. They've got a quarterback that's talented, and they've got a receiver that's got 6 or 7 D1 offers. And they are huge on their offensive line. Really, really big guys up there. So, it's one of those things where when Zachary and Scotlandville hook it up, right? You kind of throw records out the window, and it's always one of those games where it's a lot of fun to be a part of. I certainly enjoy going to that stadium over there and playing ball, and I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it for several different reasons. Number one, it's the first district game. Gives you a chance to try to go 1-0 in the district, but also, ever since I've been here, it's been a long rivalry with Scotlandville and Zachary, and a lot of fun, and a lot of the fans know each other, and so there's some smack talk during the week, and Michael Brown will be as excited this week as he's ever been in his entire life. I love that. And so, it's one of those weeks. I'm excited about it. I really am.
Well, and you get to go on the road again and
Yeah.
work in a hostile environment.
Yeah, I'm really
It's
excited.
good for the
about
team.
that. I told our team that the other day that we get to travel 2 weeks in a row. We're going to Scotlandville and going to Liberty, and I'm excited about that. We need to get on the road a little bit. We'll have a tough road game in week 9 where we got to go to Central. We need to get back on that road a little bit, play a couple of road games, and get after it. And I'm gonna be honest, I love the friendly confines of the Corral. There's no doubt, but there's just something about going play in somebody else's stadium in a hostile environment, and just gets those juices flowing a little bit, right? So we need it. We need it right now.
Statewide, any scores surprise you?
You know, I hesitate to say that the Ruston score surprised me, but you go beat the number 1 team in 4A in Texas and score 60-something points on them. Ruston must be pretty salty again this year. You know, I think that was really one of the only games that kind of was a little eye-popping for me. But you know, in 5A right now, and I said this last week, man, the parity that's there in 5A is big time, man. There's a lot of really good football teams in the 5A classification right now, and I'm interested to see how that works. I mean, you hear about the Santa Maria and the Dutchtown game last week. You know, Santa Maria's up 21-0 at halftime, and Dutchtown scores 24 unanswered in the second half to win it. You got all those rivalries in Ascension Parish and in Livingston Parish, and so a lot of fun ball. You know, was it Terrebonne? Terrebonne that beat Conville? That beat Desterham this week. Yeah, that's an eye-opening win right there for Terrebonne down there. So. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be one of those years when we get to the postseason that everybody kind of looks around and you look at the bracket. There's some special teams that will, by that point, be playing some really good ball and have had some tough schedules to get them prepared for the postseason. And I think that's the biggest thing for us right now is the level of schedule that we have played up until this point, and certainly that's going to help us down the road as well.
Did Karen Crow get in the winning column this week?
They did. Karen Crow beat New Iberia. Yeah,
okay.
They did.
That team was snake bit.
I know, and that's what I said last week. I was worried about them. They've been playing really, really good ball, but losing to some good football teams, and so. You just hope that they didn't tank it after that, But they got no win column, so hopefully they'll get a bunch more.
All right, we're going to do our first drawing. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get one of these linebackers up here.
Outstanding.
All right. We're going to go with Malachi. Miss Diane's got you a prize, Malachi.
Go ahead, Malachi. Get after it.
All right, we're going to take a break. Which one of you guys wants to come first? All right, come on. Thing tight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first Farm Bureau Player of the Week, Donovan Bethley. Donovan, before we get started, why don't you recognize some of the people that came tonight?
My mom.
Get close, get it close.
My mom, she's right there with the phone. My brother at the table too, and my grandparents are both sitting right there too.
All right, so Donovan, homecoming. You blocked 2 punts. Talk to us about blocking 2 punts.
The first punt, we first went out, it was actually supposed to be Tyson Kimball block. He's sitting right there. It was actually supposed to be his block, but on the second punt, only thing I'll say is when we work punt return, we all hold each other accountable. They hold me accountable and I hold them accountable. So without my teammates trusting me, I wouldn't have been able to got the block without them, and I feel the same way about the second one because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have did their roles correctly, and I wouldn't have did my role correctly. So, I feel the same way on the second one. Coach Crowder had faith in me, and shout out to Coach Crowder for making the call. And I just feel like we all got the job done to execute it correctly.
Did we have any other punt blocks called?
On the very first one, we called a call called Miami, where I'm not rushing.
Right,
So on the second call, green, where we all rushing, I blocked it. I blocked the first one. Then I told Coach Crowder I can get another one. I told him I can get another one, and on the second, very next punt return, I got the block. Because what I saw Opelousas was doing, they was kicking out some people, so it was leaving the A-gaps wide open, and I rushed the A-gap. So it was able for me to get the block, and I thank Coach Crowder for commending me on that one.
All right, Donovan, what's your grade point average?
3.2.
One more time.
3.2 GPA.
Mama likes that. All right, so you are a junior.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about playing for Coach Hilton.
Playing for Coach Hilton, it's an experience. When I was a sophomore, going into around people who are more experienced than me, I had to start from the bottom. Like Seps, he was a junior, and I was a sophomore, so I learned behind him and sat behind him. By Coach Hilton, he's one of those coaches, he doesn't do all the yelling and the screaming. He's one of those, he might pull you to the side, maybe not in front of everybody, and he'll actually coach you. Not one of those all-in-your-face Nick Saban type of coaches. He's one of those calm, collective coaches. He's actually going to coach you. He's not one of those overly aggressive coaches, I'll put it like that.
All right, now, you're not the first Bethley to play football at Zachary. What was it like growing up with a big brother?
My brother, David Bethley, he was a middle linebacker just like me. He was number 55. He was class of 2020. Me watching him, he was a senior and I was like in 6th grade. So it's like I learned a lot from him. He told me going into the program what I was going to expect, what the coaches were going to expect. And just me watching him, I learned everything, and that's how I was able to execute. That's all I can say.
Very nice. All right, I told you it was coming. Your favorite moment at Zachary High? I know you got plenty of time to make more moments, but to this point, what's your favorite moment at Zachary High?
Honestly, I think besides the 2 block punts, I'll put that number 2. But number 1, last year against Central, in the JV game, I had a pick 6.
Nice.
Pick 6 against Central. I'd probably say that was my favorite Zachary moment so far.
Are you setting up sets, drop pat? Is that kind of where you're going with that? I mean,
A little bit. He should have caught that one, but it's all good. It's all good.
All right. Anything else you want to say to folks? It's your night. You play
I do want
it.
to commend my teammates, Michael Seps and Tyson Kimball, because without them two, I especially wouldn't have got the block. And Malachi Langford, he was on the punt return unit too, so I couldn't get them without him. And I definitely put my trust in them too, and they put their trust in me.
All right. Your player of the week, Donovan Bethley. Slip out, let's get Mr. Sepp. All right, Michael, you got to get real close to the mic so I can hear you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, your co-Farm Bureau Player of the Week, Michael Sepps. Let's just jump right to it. Michael, what's your GPA?
My GPA is a 3.7 right now.
What was that?
A 3.7.
Well done. All right, now, you're the old man in the linebacker room, huh?
Yes, sir.
You're the senior.
Yes, sir.
Talk about playing for Coach Hill.
It's an amazing time playing with Coach Hill. He talk to you and not like yell at you and not make you not understand what's going on different plays or different formations or anything against any team. And he just make you understand in simple ways that just make sense to like young adults as us, I feel like.
All right. You had a couple of tackles in the game, a couple Friday. You remember how many you had?
I had like 15 tackles on PBU, and I think it was something else I forgot.
And a pass breakup.
Yes.
You
Yes,
want
sir.
to talk about the pass breakup, then we can talk about the tackles?
Yeah, my pass breakup. It was supposed to be a pick, but like I kind of dropped it, but I swatted down at the last second, so it went fine. It went fine.
All right, let's talk about the tackles. The running back for Opelousas Ford, he's a big name. He came in with a lot of hype, and he had one good run, but I mean, he was averaging 2 yards a carry if you take away that run. Was he a pretty good running back, though?
I didn't want to take nothing from him, but I feel like I was just better. That's how I feel.
Okay. Well, I like that. I like that. Now, I understand you are a two-sport athlete.
I'm actually a 3-sport. Yeah, I'm 2-sport too.
Elaborate.
I do wrestling, powerlifting, and football. I do all 3.
Oh, so you're working for Coach. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about powerlifting. Let's do powerlifting first. What weight class do you do?
Powerlifting. Last year I was with the 181, so I'm probably gonna be higher this year because I got more weight on me now, and I'm not dropping weight this year.
So, do you like powerlifting?
Yeah, I like powerlifting. It get me stronger, athletic, and I move people way easier.
Okay, now here's the tough question. Who has the toughest practices? Wrestling or powerlifting or football?
I'm gonna say wrestling. Wrestling hands down.
All right. Last year you wrestled. How'd you do last year in wrestling?
Last year I think it was the quarterfinals or semifinals, one or the other. But I got all the way up there and I lost the last one before I got to the semis.
All right. Would you encourage other youngsters out there to wrestle?
I encourage anybody to wrestle. Wrestling is just something fun. It helps with just athleticism and tackling people and everything. Rolling your hips forward, grabbing with on the right part of the legs and everything.
All right, so you heard it here. Wrestling helps with the football. All right, we talked about powerlifting, wrestling, talked about coach. Anybody you would like to recognize tonight?
I would like to recognize all my linebackers, definitely Malachi and Tyson Kimball, and my young linebackers that's playing JV right now. I feel like they're doing pretty good and they learned on the line, and I feel like they're gonna make it up somewhere when I leave soon and everything.
Okay. Next question. You're a senior. This is the last go around up to now. What is your favorite moment at Zachary?
I think my favorite moment is I think it was like maybe Catholic game. It had a few games where it happened. It was like I had a big hit and I made the whole crowd just go ooh and everything. Like they got all excited for it.
All right. Anything else you want to tell folks?
And my parents, I'm happy my parents here today.
Thank
They
you.
supported me and recorded
Thank
me
you.
for everything, and they've been here since day one, and I loved it.
All right. Farm Bureau Player of the Week, Michael Sell. What's that?
I got one more thing.
He has one more thing. He gets that because he's Farm Bureau Player of the Week. What you got?
The last thing I got to say, I'm looking to break the record for tackles at Zachary High School. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Do you know what the record is?
I'm still trying to figure it out, man. Coach Brew after this, and I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to break it. That's how I feel.
I like it. I like it. All right. Anything else?
I'm sorry.
All right. Very good, Michael Seth. Good job, man. Good job. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk to Coach Hilton He's going to tell us more about these two young men as well as some of the other linebackers. We are back. This is unscripted, Coach Hilton. You're all right with that, aren't you?
I'm good.
All right, we are back with our Farm Bureau Coach of the Week, Coach Ken Hilton. Say hello to everybody.
How y'all doing?
Let's start off. Is there anybody you'd like to recognize?
No, I'm by myself tonight, but I got all my boys here, all my guys in the room, the linebackers are here, and their parents. Appreciate all y'all for coming out tonight.
All right, Coach Hilton. You're at Zachary. Tell us how you got here. Walk us from Baker High. Did you go to Baker High?
I did go to Baker.
Take it from Baker High all the way. Get us to Zachary.
Hey, that's a long story, but I graduated from Baker in '93 and started this coaching thing. This is my 26th football season. So as I sit out around the room,
26 years.
26 years.
That's good.
So as I sit around the room, I actually coached Michael Sepp's daddy, the Big Mike. When I first started teaching, I know Bethley's mom was at Baker High. She was a basketball player, drum major. Both of those are Baker graduates, and I mean, it would take too much time for me to go through my whole coaching career and all that. But I am very excited, and I really appreciate Coach Brew when this opportunity came about. That he offered it to me, and I accepted it, and the rest is history, man. I'm enjoying it.
You surprised me you went to Baker, weren't you? Come on now, I remember when you played at Baker. All right, so how many years have you been here in Zachary?
This is my second year.
Second year. All right. This group, you've had a couple of years with them. What is it about this group of inside linebackers?
Man, it's really a special group. Watching the growth from one year to another. When I sit over there and look at those guys and I see where they come from. Seps last year from going from not starting to starting the end of the year, being second team all district. I think he only started 2 games, and him taking that role now, being the leader of the defense and calling the shots, and Bethany and Tyson are just like brothers. They come in and they fit. When one strength is not the other one, they kind of play off each other and everything, and they fill that void. And I got a young buck over there, Malachi Langford, who last year didn't play, who played this year, who kind of made his way onto the varsity rotation this week for some things he's been doing in JV. So I'm really, really excited about that, and the growth that everybody's going. Watching everybody from my first year to this year, it's really been good to see the growth.
All right, the 3-4, second year in the 3-4. Had you coached in the 3-4 before?
I coached in the 3-4 when I was a defensive coordinator. The 3-4 was a package. I was a 4-2-5 guy, but it's when you look at football. Football is football. It's a lot of different terminology, different ways to do different things. But at the end of the day, it's going to be, who hits the best, who runs to the ball, who takes care of the little things. That's going to be successful, and that's what we try to strive and we stress to do in our room.
All right, now I know Coach Crowder does multimedia and he does special teams. Has he got you working on any of the special teams and helping out with any of that?
Coach, I assist on a couple special teams with the shield on punt. The punt return is actually the unit that I'm kind of head up with Coach Crowder and everything. So, we take big pride in that. We felt like that was a unit last year that we really, really could improve on, from just fielding the ball to going to get some blocks, and that's stuff that we've been stressing. We got a couple guys back there that's been doing really, really good fielding the ball. We had a mishaps a couple weeks ago. We fumbled one, but getting those 2 blocks last week were really, really big.
All right. What else, Coach? What else do you want folks to know about you and things that are happening? The one question I'm going to give you, but just hold tight for that one, is why is Zachary the greatest? Well, let's go ahead and do it. Why is Zachary the greatest place you've ever coached?
Man, I tell you what, it is.
That's not a setup, is it?
No, it's not. It's really not. I'm serious. A couple things. One, I live in Zachary. I've been living in Zachary the last 15 years. I got a son that's a sophomore that goes to the school. This is my community. This is my home. It's not like work. I work with a great group of guys on the staff. Coach Brew is good to work for. These young men that I coach. I tell you this story. Last year I was on crutches and I got rolled up in one of the games. And from that night, I had 2 young men that it's like they stood by me every Friday night in front of me like, Coach, hey, slide down this way, Coach, get over here. And they still do that today. So they take care of me like I try to take care of them. So it is a really, really good place to work. So like I said, man, I'm enjoying it.
All right. Well, both of our Farm Bureau Players of the Week talked about your coaching philosophy and your coaching style. You were a player. You're a coach now. Is your coaching style because you saw something you liked or disliked when you were a player, or how did you kind of get to your philosophy of how you do things?
Well, I think, my style now is not the style that I always had. And it just depends on the role you play. When I was a head coach, my style was different. When I was a coordinator, my style was different. When I was a coordinator, I was responsible for the whole unit. And now we got a coordinator. Coach Zito does an outstanding job. One of the hardest working men I've ever been around, as a coach. And, I'm a linebacker coach, so I'm responsible for that room. And my job is to make sure that, those guys are doing what they're supposed to do and playing the way they're supposed to play. So my thing has always been, even as a coach, I tell the players this, and me and Seps had this conversation about mow your grass. Don't worry about nothing else, but worry about what you got to do. And it's the same way in coaching. So I coach my position, and I worry about my position, and that's it. If I see something, I'll talk to that coach or say something. I think the other day I laughed at Coach Crowd. I said, Coach, can I tell him something? Can I tell him something? He's like, yeah, Coach, tell him. But, my biggest thing is I don't have to yell and scream because, they understand, they get it, and I want to know, like, sometimes, what are you seeing to make you do that? You're doing, just kind of getting in the ins and outs. So that's just the way it is now. I became I call it a 206 coach, like I'm lecturing, like I'm teaching. I don't have to, but I've been that guy where I had to scream and yell, and I can still do that if I have to. I got it in me, but I just don't have to do it.
Y'all heard that, right?
So
he still got it in him.
Yeah, so I don't.
Hopefully you don't have to do that, though.
No, not with this group.
All right, so last year we went to the Dome. Was that your first time going to the Dome?
No, that was my second.
All right, it was first time.
2001 at Baker High School.
With Bob?
With Bob Howell, yes.
All right, so differences in the 2 experiences?
It was 23 years. It took a long time to get back.
Welcome to Zachary.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was really, really awesome. And the thing about this year is just me knowing the system, me knowing the place, me knowing the guys knowing me. They got a better feel for me. I got a better feel for them. I think just the sky's the limit with this group.
Is there a favorite position you like to coach? Are you where you want to be with the inside linebackers?
Absolutely. I am now. With this, I wouldn't want to coach any other position. But these guys, like I said, they know me. I know them. They know the expectation. I'm extremely proud of these guys. They don't miss. Nobody's in study hall. They're where they're supposed to be. They take care of their business. So, I'm really, really proud of these guys.
Okay, you mentioned study hall. They're not in study hall. A lot of people don't know this. Study hall, that's when you're academically having problems. Not everybody automatically goes to study hall,
I think our rule is if anybody has an F on a progress report or report card, they have to go to study hall every Thursday till that F is gone. We don't have one player that's been in study hall yet this year.
Well, you got 3.2 and 3.7 GPA with those linebackers. You got some smart young men. You got a good group. Anything else, Coach Hill?
No, I just want to say to the parents out there, I really, really enjoy coaching these young men. Y'all have done an outstanding job, man. We appreciate your support.
All right. We're going to do another drawing, Miss Diane. Wave your hand, Miss Diane. Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Or Elizabeth.
Elizabeth in the house anywhere.
Age 32.
Oh, I don't know.
And she has a really good question, too. All right, let's do another one. Ann Nielsen. Huh.
You don't have to go far.
I'll bring it to her.
Oh, you know where she is?
oh.
Yeah, I know who she is. She's
Oh,
in the back.
okay.
She probably can't hear you.
Okay, does Ann get something, too?
Tell her she needs to come down and claim her prize. Or not.
All right, so we're going to do Ask Coach Brew. I have not had a chance to go through some of this.
While you're trying to find
yeah,
the
go
question,
ahead.
there's a couple people I need to recognize.
Please.
I told you it was Scotlandville week, did I not?
You
I
did.
knew it was a matter of time before Michael Brown showed up in the house tonight. Scotlandville week. He loves this week right here, Warren. He's been talking smack for a year, getting ready for this 1 week right here. I love it. I love it. There's another guy in the house I need to recognize. I thought I saw Kevin Scott in here earlier. Is Kevin Scott? Mr. Scott, for all of you that watch any of our hype videos every week, Mr. Kevin Scott creates those and does an unbelievable job. Unbelievable job. And I want to say one thing before you ask another question. You see in our football program why it's easy sometimes to be a coach. Those two young guys that came up here and talked, you listen to them talk about their GPA, you listen to them talk about their brothers that they play with. Those are two high character kids right there that do a tremendous job. And you see who they're coached by. Now you see Ken's gonna get up here and be humble and talk about he's a linebackers coach and he just mows his own grass and he don't worry about all that other stuff. Let me tell you something. That guy's been coaching 26 years, been a head football coach, an athletic director, been a coordinator. We spend lots of time in my office with me bouncing ideas and him giving me ideas. The ladies in the corral thing that we now do that has been such an unbelievable success. Ken Hilton brought that to me and put that together. And it's been a huge success. So Ken, thank you for everything you do for the program, man. We appreciate it. Thank you. Ken, when y'all made the dome that year, I'm not finished yet, hold on. When y'all made the dome in the land of the Buffaloes that year, did you wear those candy cane colored socks on the sideline that my boy Roman Bates used to wear? No? All right, all right, all right. All right, let's get some questions, baby.
All right, Coach Brew, this question could take us through the time. It's a great question, and Elizabeth had it. So, I think Coach Hilton tonight has shown this a good bit. How important is it for the coaching staff at Zachary to be involved in the lives of the players? That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because our coaching staff, I mean,
Yeah.
talk about
Well, I'll say this. I know that none of you are privy to sit in our staff meetings or our meetings that we have leading up to the season, in the springtime, the summertime. But something that's talked about a lot is understanding how important the individual relationships are with our kids. I call it knowing their story. I want to make sure that all of our coaches know everything that's going on with their position players, because everybody's got a different story. Everybody's got different things going on in their life. And I was taught a long time ago that good coaches figure out how to get players to play well. Great coaches figure out how to get them to play well, but also how to form those deep relationships with them that are going to last a lifetime, not just for the 4 years that they're in school here. And I can tell you this, it's deeply important to me to make sure that when we bring a new guy on staff, that is talked about extensively before the actual hire is made. And it's of the utmost importance we're dealing with kids that are right there on the brink of being a man, and they're going through that maturation process in those high school years, and for them to be able to have a relationship with their coach on a personal level, not just a football level, is of the utmost importance. That is a tremendous question, and it's absolutely the cornerstone of our program.
All right, another great question. Last Friday, homecoming. Do you think the strength and conditioning program helped us have the ability to dominate late in that game? And talk a little bit about our new strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I mean, I think it's why I was able to keep what little hair I have left on my head as the way that game played out. Just knowing that at any moment we were going to take that game over physically. I had full confidence in our guys doing that. You just don't see a bunch of our players laying around on the ground during a game. They're in great shape. They've had a tremendous offseason and summertime and boot camp to get ready physically for these games. And we've had to play 4 quarters pretty much in every game that we've played so far. You know, when we had to make the transition in the springtime, when our strength coach left, and we went through an extensive research process to try to hire the next guy. And so very lucky to come across Coach Travis Nichols. He'll be a guest on the show here in a couple weeks. You know, he does a great job. He's got a plan for everything that we're doing. Watching our guys lift with a purpose in that weight room. There's a reason behind everything we do. It's very calculated. And I think that the guys' bodies are responding to that. I met with one of our quarterbacks today, Henry Green. I brought him in my office. I had to meet with him about something, and he walked in. And those of you that know Henry, I mean, Henry's a little dude, right? And he walked into my office, and he's got biceps and shoulders now, and his back had that little V to it, you know, when he walked in. I said, Henry, what are you doing, man? What's going on with you? Just trying to get it right in that weight room, Coach. It looks really, really good. And it's funny that question gets brought up. Yeah, it's something that we're committed to. You know, our guys are lifting, older guys are lifting 3 days a week. Our younger guys are lifting 4 days a week. So our younger guys are really getting an off-season in during the in-season lifting program. So very proud of that, and certainly gives us the ability to play 4 quarters when we need to.
All right, on a lighter note, fall break's coming up, Coach Brew. Y'all off Monday and Tuesday?
Fall break, yeah, absolutely. I figured we'd have some picnics and bring our tennis rackets and go hang out for a little while. No, we're gonna get a little work in next week for fall break, but it'll be some much needed rest for everybody, I can promise you.
Sorry, Coach Hilton, you're not off Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, no off days now. We'll get those in December.
All right, Coach Brew, it's about that time to close it down. You and I have wives who have open house tonight, so I'm sure we have to go home and cook.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
Get everybody fired up for the district opener in Scotlandville.
First of all, I want to say our game 1 of the year against Plaquemine in the rain, we had a great crowd. In game 2, we went down to Acadiana and Broncos everywhere that night. Then we had the Karen Crow game, tremendous crowd. Then we had a homecoming game the other night. Unbelievable amount of people there. I can't thank everybody enough for the support that we continue to have week in and week out. I know it's awesome for our kids when they come out of that tunnel and see a packed house the way they see every Friday night. So first and foremost, thank you so much to everybody for the support, the city of Zachary for what they do for our football program. The next thing I'll say is this. As we push forward, we're going to be on the road the next couple of weeks, but it's not far travel at all. Just down the road to Scotlandville, and then the next week will be just down the road to Baton Rouge at Olympia Stadium. Would love to see everybody travel to those games and come watch the boys play. We're getting to watch something special with this football team right now. They've come a long, long way already in 6 weeks, a long way, and they're only going to get a lot better. That's the beauty of coming into a season with a younger football team, one that's lacking experience, with 4 or 5 returning starters. The growth it can be huge. The ceiling is very, very high. So we've got a long ways to go as far as this season is concerned, but get on board and enjoy the ride, because it's going to be a lot of fun to watch as this thing continues to grow and grow and grow. So again, thank you for the support. We certainly want to see everybody in the Ville this week. Last year we went to Scotlandville and filled up half the home side with our fans.
Yep.
That happened. I witnessed it a year ago. Would love to see that again this week. I already talked to Mr. Venable, the band director. He said, Coach, we come in 150 strong on Friday night. So tell people if they want to sit on the visitor side, you better get there early, because the band's going to be there. But I said, that's all right. We got a home side we can take over there as well. So can't wait to do it on Friday. Michael Brown will be leading the pack. He's coming to school to lead the buses out the parking lot. It's going to be on Friday. We're excited about this one. Go Broncos. We'll see you there.